So hi everyone, welcome back to EasyMyLearning. So आज को स्पेशल क्लास हाम्रो English को IELTS को लागि छ है. So we have a special lecture with us. So we have Bishwa Karki sir with us. So he is going to take today IELTS classes. So it is totally free for everyone. So these classes is we are conducting as per the request of many of our students of Easy My Learning platform. So a warm welcome to all the students, all the participants who have joined our Zoom session, and we have made this session live as well on our YouTube uh, platform. So you can enjoy today's session. So it is totally free. And I know I have already given a little background our demo session, like a demo session for this English classes, which is conducted by Bishwa Kaki sir. So I know everyone is aware now about Bishwa Kaki sir. So he have experience of over more than 35 years of experience in English. So today he is going to take IELTS session. So let's see how it goes. So I just want to have a warm welcome to Bishwakaki sir. So welcome to EasyMyLearning Learning platform, sir. So this will be your first live session. So I'm expecting more live session in future. So let's see how it goes. So a warm welcome once again, and I'll just hand over this session to you. So over to you.
So thank you, the host, for this opportunity and for letting me have this platform. So as all of us know, IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System, and it is one of the most popular tests all around the world. Many universities in the world accept IELTS. There are 4 different skills that are tested here. So gradually I'll be talking about it. The first one is, so to say, speaking, then listening, then reading, then writing. If I start talking about all the background information regarding IELTS and the scores and all, it would be quite, lethargic. I mean, monotonous, because you can find plenty of videos, or you can find plenty of resources on YouTube, Google, and so on. So without any delay, I'd like to ask my participants to speak according to the ideas that I'm going to do. So today's session would all be about speaking, the criteria for speaking, and how well you can do. Okay? So that's what is my plan for today. Is that compatible for you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. Just a moment. So here are some tips. Right, so I want everyone to participate. Also speaking. Altogether, you've got to speak for around 11 to 14 minutes. Right? And speaking test is taken a day or two before the test. That's what it is. And there is no shortcut for learning. You must study very hard. Majority of students find reading, writing, and listening easier, but speaking difficult, or so to say, more difficult, because of lack of practice, or because of the lack of proper knowledge or idea as to how you've got to speak. And there are so many myths spread, There are so many myths spread, and there are so many, these tips and tricks given to students without having to evaluate their proficiency. So the first thing that you have to understand here is, in speaking part 1, you've got general subject matters, in which you've got to study 4 to 5 minutes, right? And altogether, you've got 4 to 5 questions. Okay, so that's what is the thing. And next one is speaking part 2, in which you are given a cue card. So according to the cue card, you have to prepare for 1 minute and speak for 2 minutes. So altogether, you've got 3 minutes. So if you speak less than 1 minute, you will not get good score. That's what is the thing. And part 3. Part 3 is generally the continuation of part 2, so far as the subject matter is concerned. But the questions would be abstract. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes.
I want participatory class. So let me go to Sushil Saha. Please unmute yourself. I would like to speak to you. Hello, Sushilji. You can
Yes,
unmute
sir.
yourself. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Sir, I just joined the call in this meeting, so I was confused. I was quite confused.
Okay, no need to be confused. We are just, getting introduced. You don't have to be baffled. You don't have to be puzzled. You don't have to be bewildered. All of these mean confused. And that's what IELTS is all about, right? So don't worry. Okay? So
Okay,
see,
sir.
all right.
Okay, sir.
Sushil Sazi, I want you to introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself.
Hello. My name is Sushil Shah. I'm currently studying in JV International College in +2. In taking I have taken a science faculty. Uh, yes.
Okay, very good. No problem. I'm not here to comment at all right now. So, Susan Thakur, please introduce yourself. Hello, Susan Thakur.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Sushant Thakur. I am currently studying +2 Pentagon College from a scholarship, applying a scholarship.
That's pretty good. Very few people may know I've been teaching in Pentagon College for last 17 years, ever since its establishment. And I'm the head of English department in Pentagon College. Have you ever seen me?
No, sir.
Not it. That's fine. Okay. The host over here once used to be my student around 10 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
So I had already given some background in WhatsApp group as well. So I'll just like to highlight a few thing about Sarai. So सरको क्लास एकदमै इन्ट्रेक्टिङ हुने गर्दथ्यो राइट सो जुन भिडियोज मैले सेयर गरेँ राइट उहाँको स्टाइल जुन पढाउने स्टाइल थियो एकदमै डिफ्रेन्ट के अरू टिचरहरू भन्दा क्लासलाई एकदमै इन्टरटेन गराएर र स्टुडेन्टहरूको माइन्डमा कसरी हाम्रो इङ्ग्लिस लेक्चर जस्तो नभएर पुरै इन्टरटेन गरेर कसरी स्टुडेन्टलाई इङ्ग्लिस पढाउन सकिन्छ भनेर उहाँको टेक्निक्स र जुन ट्रिक्सहरू छ टिप्सहरू छ एकदमै धेरै आउटस्ट्यान्डिङ थियो र एकदमै फरक थियो कि अरू एज कम्पेयर टु अदर टिचर्स इज रियली युनिक उहाँको टिचिङ स्टाइलहरू सबै युनिक थियो एन्ड द्याट इज क्वाइट इम्प्रेसिभ टु एभ्री वान एन्ड हामीले एकदमै सेसनहरू जति पनि इङ्ग्लिसको भएको थियो एकदमै इन्जोय गराएको थियो र आज हामी भिजिट पनि गरेको थियो पेन्टागन सो इट वाज अ ग्रेट डे फर अस बिकज वी मेट विश्व कार्की सर टुडे एन्ड वी ह्याड अ ग्रुप फोटोज एज वेल सो लास्ट टाइम जुन जति बेला हामी पढिरहेको थियो सबै मेमोरिजहरू रिकल भयो अनि एकदमै राम्रो एक्सपिरियन्स भयो र सर फेरि हाम्रो पेन्टागनमा आएर फेरि हाम्रो केही टाइम ब्रेक भएको थियो आई गेस सो 2 or 3 years ग्याप पछाडि फेरि हाम्रो पुरै टिचर टिम पेन्टागन आउनु भएको छ भनेर सुन्दाखेरि एकदमै खुसी लागेको थियो एन्ड आफ्टर द्याट वी रिच टु पेन्टागन एन्ड देन त्यस पछाडि थाहा भइसके पछाडि हामीले आफ्नै कलेज अब पेन्टागन अब सबै टिचर टिमहरू आइसके पछाडि त्यसो भए त बवाल हुने भयो भनेर जानु पर्यो स्टुडेन्टहरू हाम्रो इजी माई लर्निङ प्लेटफर्ममा त्यत्तिकै काठमाडौँ मेट्रो स्टुडेन्टहरू स्कलरसिप नपाएर अब यताउति कलेजहरूमा गइरहेछन् मोर देन लाक्स चार्जहरू गरिरहेछन् सो वाइ नट पेन्टागन पेन्टागन इज वान अफ द बेस्ट अप्सन मैले अलरेडी सबैलाई मैले सरी है म्युट
You can this mute someone there. Okay, thank you so much, dear. I took break only for a year because till last year I was there, and in the middle I thought of not teaching +2, only bachelor's and master's degree. But later on I heard that Mr. S.P. Singh, Dr. S.P. Singh came to Pentagon again, and I rejoined after a year. So let me go to the subject matter. Sushant Thakur was introducing himself. Sushant ji, how are you? Where are you from, you said?
I am from Janakpur, sir.
Oh, you are from Janakpur. So which place of Janakpur are you from?
0 mile.
Okay, fine.
Murli Chowk.
All right, fine. So if I try to introduce everyone, it might take a pretty long time. So I can see here 18 participants. That's very good and encouraging for me. Please mute yourself unless I ask you to, unless I ask you to unmute. Please do that. Please take care of that. So, as I told you, in IELTS, you've got you've got 3 parts. Part 1, general questions. The question could be about television, about your home, about your journey, about your likes, about your dislikes, and so on and so forth. So similarly, in part 2, you are given a cue card.
Hello,
Right?
sir.
So, hello. You are given a cue card. If you got anything to say, our moderator would help you. You are given. Hello? Yes, please. Please mute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, please. Please mute yourself. Okay. So what you can say is, in part 2, you got a cue card. So in which you've got
class.
I think this is disturbing. Please be attentive.
Guys, could you please mute yourself and just have a
Please, you become the moderator, sir. Sir, please become the moderator and mute all the students.
IELTS class हो भाइ म्युट गर न
So
I'm so sorry for the disturbance, sir. Let me mute everybody.
yeah, please mute everyone. If anyone has any question, please send in the messenger here. That would be pretty good. So I was talking about general questions. The general questions could be about your home, about your family, about your, this journey, whatsoever. But there is a certain way, what you have to do is, you got to use certain expressions. After the expressions, go into the subject matter. And having gone into the subject matter, elaborate it in 2 or 3 more sentences. Elaborate in 2 or 3 more sentences. For example, in our day-to-day life, if someone asks you, did you have your breakfast? Your answer would be, of course I had. or you could say, yes, I had, but in IELTS, it's not the case. If the question is, did you have your breakfast? To be quite specific, I've recently had my breakfast. I got up early in the morning, and having completed my morning activities, I prepared some egg and bread along with a cup of coffee, and it was a delicious breakfast for me. Look, you got to speak like this. You've got to elaborate. You've got to elaborate, and you've got to answer. This is how you can do. So the first rule is always use a contracted form. And instead of saying, my name is Bishwa Karki, or I am Bishwa Karki and all, you have to say, my name's Bishwa Karki. My name's Susan Thakur. My name's Sunil Kumar Yadav. This is how my names. My names means my name is. Okay? So at the same time, another thing that I find generally students speaking is, I recently finished my +2. If you finished your +2, how can others study? You can't finish it. All right? And it is only in our country that we recognize that term +2. When you talk internationally, you've got to say high school, right? Or intermediate level. So you can say, I have contracted, I've recently completed my high school, and currently I'm planning to fly abroad for my further studies. So this is how you've got to speak, right? So here goes, I think everyone can see the screen sharing. Here goes some templates. General questions will be asked for within 4 to 5 minutes. There would be around 3 to 4 questions. So what do you have to do? Expressions, statement, and elaboration or explanation in 2 or 3 more sentences. This is a format for speaking. So what could be the expressions? Of course. What I mean to say is, or sometimes, of course, to be quite precise, speaking quite frankly, so far as ... is concerned. For example, what do you think of football? So far as football is concerned, I don't have much knowledge since I don't play football. However, I love watching different types of games. Most importantly, my favorite player is Ronaldo. Look. So what do? So far as ... is concerned, that's an expression. So far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, not opinion, in my opinion, what I think is, if you ask me means from my perspective, from my point of view, not in my point of view, from my point of view, from my perspective, in my opinion. So you can use different structures, different expressions. If you don't know such expressions, you can answer directly as well, saying, well, and then elaborate, So that's the thing. Here are around 12 golden rules for speaking in IELTS. The first one is, let's read some comments here. Someone is saying hi, and let me read the comment. All right, fine, that's great. Susan Thakur, hello? Unmute yourself. Or the moderator can unmute. Hello, I don't know how to unmute. Ask to unmute, yeah. Susant ji, okay. So please read out the first rule. What is it? If you can see the screen share, number one, what's the rule?
Never answer in a phrase or incomplete sentences.
Pretty good. So never, now you can mute yourself. Never answer in a phrase or incomplete sentences. For example, when someone asks you, how often do you go to cinema? How often do you go to cinema? You can't answer always, or sometimes, or from time to time. It's not so, you know. As I told you, you've got to use an expression, and having used the expression, you've got to use a statement. I mean, paraphrase. The question is, how often do you go to cinema? And the paraphrasing could be something like that. So far as I'm concerned, I love movies a lot. However, I can't right now say how often I go to movies because it depends on various aspects. Whenever I've got a vacation or whenever I've got some leisure time, I visit a cinema. So you can say I watch movies at least twice a year or even 3 times a year. So this is how you have to elaborate. Sorry. So next point that you've got to understand while speaking in IELTS is do not use hesitation fillers. So hesitation fillers means or you know, all these are what? Hesitation fillers. So don't use hesitation fillers more. Like even in Nepali, we've got certain, you know, hesitation fillers like anikera, Chinese, you know. So these are what we use. But in English, we've got and I have found some of my students, you know, having been teaching for a long time, I have found some students using such hesitation fillers. Well, I'm permanently from Dolakha, but currently I live in Kathmandu. Yes, I'm studying in Pentagon International College now. This is our Ani. So don't use hesitation fillers so far as possible. You know, this second rule in order to improve your speaking in IELTS. The third one is, I'm sorry, grammar is important, but do not pay much more attention to grammar at the cost of fluency. So what we do is we focus grammar so much that we can't speak at all. Remember, it was language that first came into being. According to language, grammar came into being later. So grammar carries only 25% of the total weightage in IELTS speaking, about which I'm going to talk later. So you can focus, you can go on speaking irrespective of your grammar, because the knowledge of grammar is important, but obsession of grammar is not that feasible or that favorable. So what do you have to do? Focus grammar, but not at the cost of fluency. You know, you can focus grammar while speaking. Sometimes you may make a mistake. Everyone does. And most importantly, English is not our native language. As I told you, I've been teaching English for the last 36 years, and still I find it comfortable speaking Bhojpuri or English, this Hindi or Nepali or Tamang or Newari, because these are the societies in which I grew up. So I found their language much more comfortable. So is the case. So grammar is important, dear participants, but do not pay much more attention to grammar. Don't be obsessed with grammar. Win your fear, develop confidence, and speak. If you have fear, you cannot speak. First of all, you've got to win your fear. If someone asks you, this, do you watch television? Yes, I watch. Daily, I watch. Different program, I watch. So what is it? You've lost your confidence. No problem. Let me tell you, this is I will make my grammar wrong here. Yes, I watch a lot of television, teleserial, and sometimes news also. Very interesting, I find television. Yes, I watch television. Look, there's confidence. Your sentences are wrong here. My sentences are wrong here, but I've got confidence while speaking. So develop your confidence, win your fear, and you can do it. This what is the thing. So it doesn't matter whatever the tone, Nepali tone or Indian tone or Bhojpuri tone or whatever, but speak. Go on speaking. Other tone or pronunciation can be improved later. But once you don't have confidence, you will always lag behind in your life. Okay, dear participants, remember, win your fear. Have a conversational style. The examiner is not going to eat you up. The examiner is not going to thrash you out of the room. So why do we be afraid? If you speak well, you will get better marks. If not, next time. There is no failure. There is only passing and gaining experience. So don't be afraid. Don't think of what people talk about you while speaking English. People are there to talk about you. People are there to criticize you. People are there to, backbite you. You got to be happy because you are better than those people. When you are better than those people, they criticize you. When you are better than other people, they make nonsense comments in your social media posts or live sessions and all. Don't be afraid. The light of the sun goes to the gutter and the flower, all alike. All alike. So, have a conversational style. If someone asks you, or if the examiner asks you, what subject do you like best? Well, there's a few subjects that I'm really fond of. The first one is English because it's all about language and it is spoken all over the world. More than that, it is the subject which has taught me to think critically and present my ideas so that people around the world can recognize me. And of course, I do prefer mathematics as well. Look, so this is how you can talk, That's what you call a conversational style, Develop a conversational style. It should not be something like reading. Like, which subject do you like? I like English. English is an international subject. It is spoken all over the world. Because of English, we can gain knowledge on various subjects. That's it. So what are you doing? You're not having a conversational style. You're reading or you're trying to remember the things that you studied somewhere in an essay and all. Feel free and apply a conversational style, and that would be pretty good. Okay. Next one is Use informal words, idioms and phrases, and contracted forms. You know, informal words like, I was still a child when the old farmer kicked a bucket. The old farmer kicked a bucket means passed away. It's quite informal. You know, you don't have to be much more formal. You don't have to be much more formal here. So you can be informal. You can use certain phrases like a great deal of, a lot of, plenty of, you know, look forward to, look for. I could not catch up with the present syllabus. So catch up with means go together. So this is how, what do? You can use certain phrases. When I was gifted a new watch, I was over the moon. I was on top of the world. Means I was extremely happy. So use certain idioms. Go on speaking, and contracted forms. Instead of saying I have got, you can say I've got. Instead of saying I shall, you can say I'll. Instead of I will, you can say I'll. I'd love to go to the temple. I'd love to means I would love to. So here comes Mr. Sensresta, who happens to be my student, and he is a media person as well. I taught him 10 years ago. Welcome, Essence. So let me talk about another. Maintain proper eye contact. Remember, in IELTS examination or during the interview, the eye contact has nothing to do. It doesn't make any difference in scoring certain scores. But when you have proper eye contact with the examiner, it establishes the fact that you are confident. It establishes the fact that you are confident. So eye contact doesn't mean staring like this. Look straight and this way and this way. Straight, this way, this way. Don't just stare. So eye contact is very important. However, my point is that eye contact has nothing to do with your scoring in IELTS. Speak whatever you know instead of remaining silent. You have to beat your own drum. I mean, you've got to beat your own trumpet. Beating your own trumpet means showing yourself. Yes, I can speak in spite of certain errors. It doesn't matter. I do have confidence. That's what you got to prove. So speak, develop your confidence, and you can do. If not you, who else? And they understand this is not our native language. I started speaking English only when I went to college. During my school days, my teachers, they were very good, of course. My teachers used to teach English in Nepali. So fine, it doesn't matter. So speak whatever you know instead of remaining silent. And one thing, sometimes the subject matter could be such that about which you don't know anything. So what do? For example, what are the different types of dictionaries that you have studied? Dictionary. 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 Both of them are correct. What are the different types of dictionaries that you have studied? Now you are at a blank. You are perplexed. You are baffled. You are bewildered. The term is you're confused. You're confused. Confused, baffled, bewildered, So what to do? I don't know anything about a dictionary. So you can say, I must say I don't have much knowledge about a dictionary because these days I don't need to. Whenever I find some words difficult, I search them in Google or in ChatGPT, and there are so many other search engines. I opine that dictionaries or paper-based dictionaries used to be carried when people didn't have cell phones or these electronic gadgets. We can do without any paper dictionaries these days. Look. So you don't know anything about a dictionary, but you know how to find the meaning. So sometimes they might ask you about arts, about culture and all. You can say that way. Okay? So remember, dear, IELTS speaking is not the test of your knowledge. It is the test of your skill. You know? There's so many places where you can gain knowledge. It's not all about the theoretical aspect. It's all about the skill. You have had enough knowledge of biology, or mathematics, geography, economics, and so on. It doesn't matter here. What matters here is how you present your ideas. So speak whatever you know instead of remaining quiet or remaining silent. Try to pronounce correctly, but do not try forcibly to be like a native speaker. A pencil is a pencil, it's not a pencil. A garage is a garage or garage, it's not garage. A flower is a flower, So try to pronounce correctly. April is April, it's not April. January is January, it's not January. So your tone doesn't need to be like that of a native speaker, but your pronunciation must be correct. Is that okay? B-U-R-Y, Buri. Oh, it's berry. B-E-R-R-Y, berry. B-U-R-Y, berry. It's not booty. So you got to think of pronunciation. If you don't know, go to Google, type it, go to ChatGPT and search around 100 words that are often mispronounced. Of course, it could be either American pronunciation or British pronunciation or Australian. Australian, never say Australian, they say Australian because they don't have A sound. Australian pronunciation and all. Canadian English, doesn't matter. But pronounce properly. So because of American and British pronunciation variation, if there are certain problems, you don't have to worry. It's granted. Either you say water or water, or water. Water, water, water. A lot of, a lot of. It doesn't matter. Okay, so the next point is try to talk as much as you can until the examiner stops you. When a time is over or when something else is to be asked, the examiner will critically ask you another question. So go on speaking till your examiner stops you. Okay. Ask for clarification if necessary. They may not clarify all the ideas every time, but sometimes they might speak a bit faster. So when they speak a bit faster and you can't understand it, if they speak in a normal speed, it's fine. What do you think are the major causes of people, just leaving their country and settling in other countries? Q&A. Excuse me, sir, I didn't get you. We've seen that many people migrate into other countries, leaving behind their countries. What different problems can a nation face under such circumstances? Look, so there's a trend that the majority of people have been migrating to richer countries and leaving behind their countries. What do you think are the consequences? You may not understand, because they would like to test whether you can understand fast speech or not. In such situations, you can ask for clarification. Excuse me, I didn't get you. I did not get you. So ask for clarification. But every time if you ask for clarification, they won't entertain it. So these are the 12 golden rules for speaking in IELTS speaking test. These are 12 golden rules. All right. And these rules can be applied in other situations as well. Like when you're here, go on speaking, give certain examples, have proper eye contact and all. So now marking criteria. Also speaking will be judged under these 4 criteria. So the first one, as you can see, is fluency and coherence. Fluency and coherence. Could anyone say what is coherence? Essence? What is coherence? I think it's
You can put a message in the chat box, right?
yeah. Pretty good. If anyone knows what is coherence, otherwise only my speaking would be, had there been only a few students, I could have, talked to them individually, but here are 17, so I would not be able to speak to everyone.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please.
It's
Being
me, sir.
logical. All right. Thank you. To some extent, you're right. Remember the word coherence. Now you can mute yourself. The word coherence comes from the word cohere. C-O-H-E-R-E. C-O-H-E-R-E. Cohere. Cohere means to organize. So coherence refers to meaningfulness. And cohesion, C-O-H-E-S-I-O-N. Cohesion refers to syntax or structure. You got me right. Coherence, meaningfulness. Cohesion, structure. Sometimes your sentences could be structurally correct. Means your sentence has cohesion. But it's not necessary that it must have had coherence. There is cohesion. Structural correctness means cohesion. Let me give you an example. I could see fish flying in the sky. I could see fish flying in the sky. I subject, could see verb, fish object, fish flying in the sky, entirely object. The sentence is correct grammatically, but does it give any meaning? Do you think that fish can fly in the sky? Of course not. So your sentence has cohesion but not coherence. So coherence refers to meaningfulness. Fluency doesn't mean speaking faster. Remember, if you are taking PTE test, fluency means speaking faster. But here in IELTS, fluency means speaking with clarity. Your sentences must be clear. Okay? So that's what it is. It means connect your sentences by linking words like however, nonetheless, therefore, apart from these, moreover, if, unless. There's so many cohesive devices that you can use to link your sentences according to the requirement of your subject matter. According to the requirement of your subject matter, you can use cohesive devices. Next one is extend your answers and add all the relevant details. I talked about this before. If someone asks you, do you like tea? Yes. Do you like tea? No. That's not the answer. You can say, to be quite precise, I'm really crazy about different types of tea. Whenever I've got time, I go to cafe and find special types of tea. Sometimes it is Woodney's tea, sometimes it is Himalayan tea, and so on. You could say, I'm a tea lover. So look, what happens? Your answer is expanded. Your answer is extended. So you've got to expand or extend. That's all the same. That's what it is. Now, speak smoothly and continuously. Some people, what they do is they speak so fast that they complete their sentences within 30 seconds or within 20 seconds, then just keep quiet. Don't do that. Take a moderate speed. Don't speak too slowly, neither too fast. Always maintain a proper speed. So that's what it is. Use pausing whenever necessary. What I mean to say is, yes, right, that was the year 1939 when I first came to Kathmandu. Right, it was the year. Let me remember. Yes, it was the year 1939. So, some pause of around 2 or 3 seconds would be really fruitful. But if you pause for a long time, for 6 seconds or 7 seconds, the examiner will ask you another question. Long pause or pausing for a long time indicates that you are not qualified. Okay? So always think of it. Now, lexical resource. The word lexical comes from the word lexicon. If you are sitting there, you can write it down. Be ready with your pencil and paper or a pen and a paper. Only listening to me would not be fruitful at all, because you've got to note down some of the important points that I'm speaking right now. Okay? So that's an advice to all the participants here. Previously, there were 21 participants. Now there are only 12, because only few people can understand the value of a good product. Right? So English is needed not only for your IELTS or IELTS, it is an essential skill required in every step of your life. Remember. Okay? So, I talk about the history as well when I'm explaining you the points that you are looking here. So, the word lexical comes from the word lexicon. Lexicon. Please write it down. Lexicon. Lexicon refers to word. So, lexical resource refers to vocabulary. Remember, it's apart from grammar, 2 things are very important. The first one is vocabulary. The second one is structure. If you put, this vocabulary in the structure, your sentences are correct. Only you need to correct some tenses or some minor grammatical categories. So, majority of people can't speak English not because they don't know, but because they can't use a proper word in a proper place at the proper time. So use a proper word in a proper place in a proper way. So vocabulary. So far as possible, don't repeat the same word. You've got plenty of words for the same meaning. Look, like plenty of, a lot of, many, more, much, ample, enough, profuse, sufficient, a great deal of, majority of. According to the context, we can use various words. So is the case in Nepali as well. You've got ati, dherai, atyadik, adik matrama, and so on. Similarly, English has different words. Try to use them. Let me talk about only one. Main. M-A-I-N, main. Major, vital, crucial, important, essential, significant, predominant. So, Principal, principal also means main, chief. You got so many words. Why are, I'm sorry, why are these words there? It's because you got to use them. If the question is, do you like football? Don't say, yes, I like. You can say, of course, I'm really very fond of football, both playing and watching. Look, be very fond of, be interested in, be crazy about, be passionate about. You know, I love football. So far as possible, try to use synonyms or try to paraphrase the question asked. So far as possible, don't use the same word as it is in the question. If they cannot be replaced, okay, because sometimes there can be some technical terms like fermentation, condensation, evaporation, you know. So you can't just change such words because these are technical terms. So when they are technical terms, let them be. It doesn't matter. So you've got to use proper lexical resource. Use a wide range of vocabulary, phrases, different words for the same meaning. Joy, happiness, pleasure. So sadness, pain, agony, melancholy. There's so many words. Try to use synonyms. Don't use jargons unless you know the meaning very well. You know, do not use jargons or the words which you are not sure the meaning of. For example, win and conquer. You conquer, C-O-N-Q-U-E-R, you conquer a war. You win a war, but you don't conquer a match, a football match. You win a football match. So only the dictionary meaning or dictionary synonym may not be exactly the same. So you have to look at the context. You got to understand the context. You know? Sometimes key means an object that opens a lock. Sometimes key means important. All right? So a key factor. So use proper lexical resource and pronounce the words as clearly as possible. You don't have to hurry. You don't have to, you know, use the local dialect. Someone was saying water of bottle, water of bottle. के भने ब्रिटेनको कुनै ठाउँको मान्छेले वा बो भन्यो होला वा बो भनेको सरी अ बो फो वा बो हैन अ बो फो actually it's a bottle of water, a bottle of water. A regional variation त हुन्छ त. People can have regional variation, it doesn't matter, but you have to speak correctly. You know, language is language, it's not language. You know, language. Sir, मलाई language सिकाइदिनु न. के language भने? Language त language नि हो, language नेपाली. अगर सके language. सर हमने के language वा सिका दो. So what is it? Even language became languagua. No, it's language, language, language. Fine. You know, we should not mix up our original pronunciation to English term because it's their language. Okay, so be attentive to pronunciation. It should be clear. You know, it's not something like, you know, a bow of war. किनभने के मैले इङ्ल्यान्डमा त्यही भने सुनि अब बटल अफ वाटरलाई त्यस्तो भन्नु चाहिँ कुनै ठाउँ भन्ला नि के र हाम्रो पनि त रिजनल भेरिएसन चाहिँ नेपालीमा छैन र छ नि हैन so we do have regional variations even in our language, so you have to use authentic pronunciation for which it's not pronunciation है एउटा अङ्ग्रेजी पढाउने मेरो महान मित्रले भन्नुभयो थियो सर अहिलेका बच्चाहरुलाई त अङ्ग्रेजीको प्रोनाउन्सिएसन नै आउँदैन it's a great irony कहाँ pronunciation हो त pronunciation pronunciation pronunciation. You know, so your pronunciation should be pretty good. All right, so we've got to complete the meeting at 9:15. So, fluency and coherence, that's one part. Okay, lexical resource, I mean vocabulary, that's another part. Pronunciation is another part. And your sentences should be grammatically correct, grammatical range and accuracy. That's another part. So what I've said is, once again, what I've said, or what I've, this mentioned earlier is, look, this grammar carries only 25% of your overall speech, your overall presentation, your overall, this answer. For the sake of 25%, you cannot lose these 75%, So grammar is important, but not at the cost of fluency and coherence, not at the cost of lexical resource, not at the cost of pronunciation. Remember, if you could speak grammatically correct, pretty good. If not, no problem. So, यो सबैको चाहिँ स्कोर 9 मा हुन्छ सबैलाई 9 मा fluency and coherence 9, lexical resource 9, pronunciation 9, grammatical range and accuracy 9. So, and then average is measured. Look, for example, in fluency and coherence, you got 7. In lexical resource, you got 7.5. In pronunciation, you got 7. In grammatical range and accuracy, you got 6.5. So, what's your IELTS speaking score? 7 plus 7.5 plus 7 plus 6.5 divided by 4. So, your IELTS score is 7. So thank you. Today I just talked about some of the major criteria that you got to remember while taking IELTS speaking. If you want further classes or more classes, you've got to register yourself, for which consult our host, and he will decide who is to be allowed in the class and who is to be taught. I'm Mr. Kumar Karki, a PhD scholar, and I've been teaching English for the last 36 years, and I've been teaching IELTS for more than 2 decades, So hope you all enjoyed the class. After 4 minutes, they are going to have another class in the same platform or another meeting. So I must say, good night. Thank you everyone for attentively attending my class. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a really wonderful session. I hope all our students have enjoyed this session. So we'll again continue this session tomorrow. Eh? So same time, we'll continue the another session, second session. And
So,
today,
easy learning, excuse me. So what you can do is that we need the target audience. Some of the students are just starting grade 12 right now. They are not the target audience. Please select the target audience. This get their names and phone numbers so that it will be quite easier. So if we have more students, no problem. We can do 2-hour session. But in one session, there shouldn't be more than 10 students so that I can communicate with them and I can apply the participatory approach. And it will be according to their need, So as per need analysis, if they are granted the class, it would be fabulous.
correct.
Right?
Yeah, so I'll make a separate group for this AL class. So whoever are interested can join that group. I'll share the Zoom details and group details on chat as well, and then in the WhatsApp group as well. Right? So we have we'll create a separate group for AL session, and the interested students can join that group. Right? So we'll have a dedicated participants, so with whom we can interact as well.
Right, thank you,
So
Easy Learning admin. So please, you can let me go.
okay, thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
See you
everyone.
tomorrow.
See you. Right, bro.
Thank you. Okay, we'll end the call here.